Good morning, fellow math teachers. So today I'm going to be sharing some games that I created to help students review and reteach information. So the first game I'm going to be sharing is called Payday. Is for 5th grade, and it's going to be going over the TEKS 10B, explain the difference between gross income and net income. So basically, you'll just need the gross income cards, the deduction cards. Each student will get their own blank pay stub. And if you would like, you can laminate those so that way they can use the dry erase markers so you don't have to keep printing them. They will need the game board, pawns per student, and dice. So basically, to begin this game, each student will be getting one of these gross income cards. So this is basically, their starting amount. And everyone will have a different starting amount. Some of them are higher than others. And after that, they will be, each of them will be given this. So they'll record their gross income here. And as they go through and play this board game, they will be landing on these deductions that they will have to place on this pay stub. So basically, they'll start with this amount, they'll write these deductions, and in the end, they'll be finding their net income. So this pay stub kind of lays it out for them, the gross income minus the total amount of the deductions. So they'll add all these deductions up for the total, and it will give them the net income. So they will kind of just play until they get one of each. So there's Social Security, medical, and federal income tax. So kind of until they get all three, until every student gets all three. And then they will kind of be doing this independently, or if they need extra help, you can kind of support them on this. If they're more independent, you can kind of give them a blank paper and maybe they'll have to kind of figure this equation out on their own. So there are ways that you can make it a little bit more challenging for them. I did make this a board game because I felt like it would be more interactive. The original just kind of had these where they'll be kind of pulling the deck. They'll kind of use these as like a deck and kind of pull them. So you can do it that way as well, but I thought it would be fun to incorporate this board game. So yeah, basically they will be learning about this, gross income, net income, and deductions, subtracting. So they will have to correctly calculate their net income. So any questions or comments?
Yeah, I like that it's a board game because I think that's more engaging for the students. I also like the idea of laminating it so you don't have to print multiple copies because that definitely makes it easier on us. So yeah, I definitely like it.
Yeah, I like the idea that the pay stub provides like a good visual of what they need to deduct to get the net income. So I like that.
Awesome, thank you guys. And now we're going to be looking at my 3rd grade game. So for 3rd grade, we're going to look at the TEKS 9F, which is identify decisions involving income, spending, saving, credit, and charitable giving. So this is a fun board game where students will have to make decisions about basically earning, spending, saving, and giving money to reach a goal. So depending on what your students need, you as a teacher can kind of set the goal however you like, but it's basically saving this amount and giving this amount. So the original game said saving $100. That may be like a longer game, but you can make it, smaller, $50. And they'll have to give, so like charitable giving, they'll have to give maybe $20, $25. And the board game will help with that. So whoever reaches this goal first basically wins the game. And this can be played with 2 to 4 players. So you'll just need the board game. Each group will get a set of earn cards and spend cards. Each student will get a pawn. Each student will also get a budget board, which you can also laminate and have them use the dry erase markers, and then of course dice. And they'll also be using printable money or fake money, kind of like Monopoly. You can either use Monopoly money or you can use, at the dollar store, they have like that play money that they can use. So basically they will be rolling the dice. They're going to start, here is the board. They're going to start at these allowance spots, so whichever side they like to start on. Here you're going to put the money and the earn cards and spend cards that I will show you, and they're just going to go around the board, and depending on where they land, they'll have to kind of make some decisions. So as far as the earn cards go, oh, I think they're down here. These are the earn cards. So I did make some of them. So they're kind of simple, just like little cards. And basically they'll have this as a choice. So if they land on an earth space, they don't necessarily have to do this job and earn the money. But if they do decide, for example, sell old books to a used bookstore, earn $12. If they do this, they will have to skip their next turn. So it's like they really have to make that critical decision of, okay, do I want to earn this money and skip my next turn, or do I want to just wait? So each student will start out with kind of a set amount of money, kind of like Monopoly, and they'll have to earn more money or, you know, spend their money. And the same goes for the spend cards. Some of them give them a choice and some of them don't. So for example, you and your sister rent a movie to watch. Do you rent a new release for $4 or go with an oldie but goodie for $1? So they may have a choice of you want to spend more or less, or some of them may just say your bike needs new tires, spend $30. So the important thing about the spend cards, if they don't have that money in their, for example, they start with a set amount of money, and if they don't have enough, then basically they will have to take money from their savings account. And if they don't have enough in the savings account, then they'll have to skip their next turn. So that way they really are making these critical decisions, and they'll have to document all their spending, saving, and there is also sharing spaces where that's like the giving, and you can basically choose to spend, you know, to share however much you'd like. But once you put money in your share account, you can't remove it. So you can't use that for your spending. And just like Monopoly, when they pass the allowance, they'll get $5. So this game can go on as long as you'd like, as long as, you know, like I said, you set the goal for they have to spend, they have to earn this much saved in their savings, and they have to give this much. So they'll basically use this each round to kind of document and total up however much they have in those accounts every time they go. So you can make this simpler by just, you know, instead of having them, you know, have a goal, maybe just play like 1 or 2 rounds just so they can get an idea of spending, saving, and sharing. But I really like that it kind of gives them choices. So they have to either, yes, they want to earn the money, but they have to skip their turn, or, oh, I have to spend, but I don't have that money, so I have to get it from my savings, things like that. So it kind of helps them think about their choices as far as their money goes. So yeah, any questions, comments?
Yeah, I like how it fosters that critical thinking and they're able to make their own choices on stuff. I think that's really important.
So does each student get that budget, the
budget board?
yes, or is it
Yes.
one per team?
Each student will get this because they're all going to be starting with the same amount, but they're each turn they're going to be either spending, saving, or sharing depending on what they land on. So yeah, each student will get one of these just so that they can kind of keep track of their own money, so they can see, for example, if you set the saving goal of $25, if they see that they reach that, then they just have to move on to their sharing or giving amount that you said, and then they'll be able to show you that they won, and you can kind of track whether or not they correctly added or subtracted their money. So this is kind of another way to check for their understanding as well. Yep. All right, well, thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed these games, and I will be sure to share this with you so you can use it in your classroom.